Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from McFarlane Toys in their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Brainiac, the Superman villain as he appears in the video game Injustice. Alright, so when I saw this figure, I saw this at my local mall at FYE, and FYE, if you don't have one of those stores near you, it's an acronym for Your Entertainment. It's kind of like the equivalent of like this is really going to date me. It's like the equivalent of Music Land from back in the day. It's pop culture. You know, they sell like DVDs, CDs, and all sorts of crazy memorabilia. For whatever reason, my FYE gets some action figures really early. And this came out some weeks ago, and it's just now I'm doing the video. This has been sitting on my desk for a while. Because I haven't had time to like open it or shoot videos, but I'm getting around to it today, and I'm excited because when I saw this figure, I fell in love with it. Brainiac is such a cool villain in the DC universe. You know, when I saw this figure, I'm like, it reminded me of so many different things. For one, I love the character designs in the Injustice video games. They're a much more modern approach to like, you know, our superheroes, but you know, they're always kind of like overkill in their design, which I don't mind. And such is the case with this Brainiac. You know, there's elements of them that kind of remind me of the X-Men character Omega Red. From a certain angle, he kind of reminds me of Dave Bautista as Drax, especially with the green skin and his muscular build. You know, he's almost like part Borg, part cyborg, and it looks great. The hardest thing I had to deal with when I bought this figure was the fact that FYE charges friggin' ridiculous prices for their collectibles. And this one wasn't too bad. It's only a $5 markup. Like here, it was $29, but still, it was hard for me to swallow, especially since back in the day, McFarlane figures were only 19 bucks. You know, I think they've been jacked up to maybe like $24 at some retail outlets. But FYE, man, they charge an arm and a leg for their toys. It's highway robbery. Like, for example, I had to take a picture of this because I couldn't believe it. Their Star Wars Black Series figures sell for like $29 at this specific location. And it seemed like a lot. You know, it's like a $5 markup from what you buy at Target. But one Black Series figure for, I don't know, whatever reason, the Endor Trooper, $59. $59 for this guy. And it's like, it made me crazy because it's like, if I was like at like a Target, you know, that would have been $25. I have no idea who priced that. They must know that's a hot figure, but all the other Black Series figures were like $29, but that guy had a $30 markup, which was insane. I don't think it's a chase figure either. It's just like a standard release. All right, but back to Brainiac. After I bit the bullet and paid the extra money and got this guy, I was ecstatic and danced to my car and whatnot. Cool character portrait. It looks great. If you've played the Injustice games, you know what you're getting. You know, there's hyper detailed action figures. The character designs from the video game are really neat. If you like stuff like the Arkham Batman games, you'll love Injustice. You know, it was done by the Mortal Kombat crew at NetherRealm, and you know, it's awesome. Let's get this out. Excited to check out Brainiac. Alright, so we have Brainiac here. He is looking spiffy. Man, let us pause for a second and just admire the detail. Yeah, this guy has got it going on. It is sick. Alright, as usual, you get the trading card, the display base. Okay, so I have a tendency to ramble in my videos if you haven't noticed, and sometimes I get very sidetracked. For this video, we're only going to remove one of the tendrils. I have a feeling that if I remove all 4 of them, I might have some issues with the other ones. Kind of like that Hawkman video where I couldn't get one of the wings on. So at the very least, we're going to remove one of those tendrils. Unfortunately, it's not a bendy wired material. That's what I was kind of hoping for. I was kind of hoping they'd throw a bendy wire in this and make it posable. You know, in some ways it's very Doc Ock-like. You know, the Spider-Man villain with Doc Ock and his tentacles. So, in some ways, even if you were a crazy customizer, you could probably repurpose this and make it a Doc Ock figure. You know, just repaint it, maybe swap on a different head. And you can make Otto Octavius. Okay, let's look at the figure first. The joints on mine, not that they're loose, but they're not as snug as some of the other figures I've handled in the past. It just might be my copy of the figure, but this, not that their arms are flailing around, but they're considerably a lot looser than some of the other figures I've handled in the McFarlane line. The detailing is top notch. Visually, this guy is a perfect 10. You know, it kind of his armor kind of reminds me of the armor from Avengers Endgame, but it's all silver. You know, when they have to like time travel and they wear those funky suits, this kind of reminds me of that. It's kind of like very Iron Man-like, or even Justice League Cyborg-like. Which, if you wanted to, you could probably make a pretty cool custom cyborg out of this. You know, just swap out the head and throw on like a, what's it, Victor Stone head on here, and then you have Cyborg from Justice League or Titans. Yeah, look at that. That looks cool. And then the tendrils, I don't think they're specific. You can plug them in anywhere. And they're kind of, yeah, they plug in nicely. And they do remove easily. So, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if I want to, I could go back and remove the other ones. But that'll give you an idea of what you're looking at. But for the sake of this review, it's just easier not to have them on there. They're going to get in the way of, when I'm showing off articulation. But I really wish these were on a bendy wire, because I feel like that's a missed opportunity. But at the same time, a bendy wire might jack up the price of the figure by like $10. Who knows? But nice execution. The face looks fantastic. He has those trademark circles all around his head like Brainiac does. A very over-the-top design for Brainiac, and I love it. You know, Brainiac is one of those Superman villains. Much like Lex Luthor, you know, he always kind of, he's always in Superman's face about something. And this guy is, man, this is a nice figure. I gotta say, in terms of McFarlane figure releases from 2023, this might be easily in my top 5, just on the presentation alone. The detailing is fantastic. I do feel there's some missed opportunities in the paint application, but you know, if you're a customizer and if you have the talent, you could take it even further. You know, maybe a nice ink wash and highlighting some, or dry brushing some highlights onto the edges would really make this guy shine. But it's a fantastic looking figure. It looks really, really, really well done. Love that head. You know, this really embodies the character. I mean, if you played the video game, you know, this is really the Injustice Brainiac leaping off the screen. And I was going to say into your palm, but that sounded weird. Leaping off the screen and into your palm. But awesome figure. These are soft, so they're gonna, you know, be a little forgiving when you move your arms. Again, it kind of bothers me that my arms are kind of, you know, loose. They're not as snug as I'd like. But the articulation is there. You know, if you want it to do stuff, it's going to do stuff. So overall, it's a fantastic action figure. Can't recommend it enough. For me, solid 9 to 9.5. We've gotten so many Superman figures from McFarlane, but we haven't had enough Superman villains. You know, granted, they've given us, you know, like Doomsday and Lex Luthor and stuff, but it's cool that we're getting Brainiac. And I'd really appreciate, too, if they'd give us, you know, much more simplified version of Brainiac, like maybe some of the more classic designs from the comic book or even the cartoons. But you buy this figure, you're not going to be disappointed. Definitely one of the shining gems in my McFarlane shelf from this year. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.